Hello everybody, today I'm going to mention the latest patch that came to the Guild Wars 2, which is mainly focused on the balance changes for each class. These changes are targeted towards the World vs. World players and how the boon system and the barrier system in the World vs. World works. But there are some other changes that are not related to World vs. World. So I'm going to mention all of them class by class later on in this video. But other than that, there are some minor changes that is not related to balance changes for the classes. So yeah, let's start with those and move on to the balance changes for each class. Let's start with the blackline changes. Since the Valentine's Day is almost here, there are some new skins, which is Valentine's Day themed, and some other stuff. So we can see these items here in promotions. These are the items that are related to Valentine's Day, and they added this homestead package, which adds new decorations to our homestead. Other than this NPC sells new weapon skins, which are again Valentine's Day themed. You can see I also made my character look according to that theme. So these are the items from this NPC. You can find this NPC in the Blackline Trading Post, which is in the Traders Forum here. So these weapon skins are Valentine's themed, and I kind of like the sword one. That's why I made my Revenant like this. As you can see, it looks like a katana. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, we have changes to Blackline chest. It's standard changes. They added a new thing for the second part of this item. We had this one in the previous chest. Now we have the blow kiss emote. And they changed the uncommon and rare weapon skins. This time the uncommon one is the collapsing star and the rare one is necrotic essence. And also this one also changed. So if you wanna try your luck and get these items or any of these skins, you can do so using your Blackline keys. And now I'm going to mention some changes to lounges. Lounges are the places that you can go with these invitations. There are some time limited ones and there are some unlimited ones. The changes that I'm going to mention are in the lounges themselves. Changes to lounges are these jade post stations. They added these jade post stations to all lounges, and if the game mode allows you, you can charge your jade pot and use these offensive and defensive protocols. Other than that, you can modify your jade pot on the workbench, and there's a vendor if you want to buy something related to jade pot. The other change to lounges is related to Thousand Seas Pavilion. I don't have that one, that's the one in Kanta. They added 2 new locations to Mysterious Gate that you can use to teleport to new fishing locations. So they added Horn of Maguma and Jantir if you have those expansions. These are the only changes that are not related to class balance. Let's talk about the balance changes. There are changes to every class in the game. I'm going to mention them briefly. I'm not going to go into too much detail. You can see the details here. I'm going to put a screenshot of the wiki page here so you can stop the video and check it out. And if you like this kind of content, please like this video and subscribe for more. So yeah, let's start with the general changes. So their general changes are to the 2 relics, Relic of the Flock and Relic of the Rivers. Relic of the Rivers used to give Alacrity for 2 seconds and they're lowering to 1 second. These changes are only for World vs. World, by the way. It will remain the same in other game modes. And they're increasing the cooldown of the Relic of the Flock from 10 seconds to 20 seconds. The Relic of the Flock gives you barrier and your allies barrier when you heal. It'll still give the barrier, but its cooldown is increased 2 times. Other than that, they reduced the barrier cap from 50% to 50% of maximum health to 25% of the maximum health. These are the general changes. As you can see, I'm going to put them in the video as too. And the rest of them are class specific. It's not specific to World vs. World. I'm going to mention all the changes in that class one by one. So yeah, let's move on to those. Okay, let's start with Mesmer since technically it's my main. So the changes for Mesmer are not World vs. World specific, and there are a lot of changes in PvE for Mesmer. So they are lowering the DPS of power, also Condi Virtuoso in the PvE mode. They are buffing the power mirage. I'm not sure why, but they are doing that. I guess no one is playing Mirage, so they wanted to buff that one. There are some minor fixes to some of the skills, but in general, they are nerfing most of Virtuoso's damage and buffing Power Mirage. The World vs. World specific change for Mesmer is the stretch time no longer gives Alacrity to allies, it will now give mights instead of Alacrity in World vs. World. So it will probably be better to use the trait that gives quickness instead of this one. These are the changes for Mesmer. Like I said, I'm going to mention them briefly. If you want to read them, they will be up there. So you can stop the video and read them up here. Before going into classes that have more World vs. World related changes, I'm going to mention Warrior because it has a lot of changes that are related to PvE. So they are buffing Rifle. I'm not sure it will be a viable weapon for Warrior. I find it a little bit sluggish, but maybe with these buffs it will find a place in PvE as well. I'm not sure.
Almost there.
But other than that, they are buffing dual wielding and on the Berserker. Like I said, you can read everything here. I'm gonna put link up there. Other than that, they are buffing the Gunblade, Bladesworn, Gunsaber, sorry, of Bladesworn. They are increasing the coefficients for most of its skills except the Dragon Slash. And other than that, the World vs. World changes that are focused for the Warrior is the Spellbreaker changes.
I concur. Let's search.
They will be more viable regarding to boon strips, boon removal, because they are increasing the time that Winds of Disenchantment stays. And I don't know, it feels like they are already viable in World vs. World, but this will surely make them more requested, let's say. And that's it for the Warrior changes. Okay, let's talk about the Ranger now. Ranger is getting kind of a buff and nerf for the World vs. World play. They are lowering the amount the druid heals with his elite skill, and they are removing some boons from its celestial avatar. Other than that, they are trying to fix the issue where if your pet dies, you have to wait a minute to actually work again with your pet. So they are trying to fix that. That's something nice. And they are trying to make Untamed a viable option by giving them some boon strips. I'm not sure giving them a single boon strip skill will fix the issue, but I don't know, there are so many better classes like Chrono or Scourge or Reaper maybe. I'm not sure about those two, but yeah, there are so many better classes that you can boon strip. Oh, and Spellbreaker as well, they are also buffing that one for the boon strips. So I'm not sure if the Untamed will be viable anytime soon, but they are at least trying to do that. Other than that, for PvE, they are trying to buff the Spear. and there isn't much change for PvE or Ranger. Okay, now let's talk about Elementalist changes. So there are some Word vs. Word related changes and some PvE related changes. But mainly the general idea for Elementalist changes are they are nerfing everything. So yeah, they are nerfing the boon uptime for the Elementalist. They are lowering the power coefficient of some of its skills, and they are increasing the cooldown of some skills as well. They are kinda buffing heal Tempest, but not in the healing part. They are buffing like it's more of a quality of life buffs for heal Tempest. Other than that, you can read the changes for the Elementalist up there. Like I said, there are so many changes. You can just pause the video and read the changes from the wiki that I post in this video. Now let's talk about the Guardian. They are finally nerfing the Willbender. Willbender was so strong and so annoying in World vs. World. They are lowering the options for Willbender to just mess with people and run away from one base to another. I mean, it was almost impossible to chase a Willbender unless you're a Willbender, or maybe a thief can chase a Willbender. But I'll talk about thief later on. Also, they are trying to lower the AoE damage for the Guardian in PvP. And other than that, they are buffing the Dragon Hunter for PvE. These are the Guardian changes. There are some changes to its spear as well for PvP as well. It's related to AoE changes. Like I said, as always, you can read the changes up here. And let's move on to Thief, because they are kinda lowering its escape ability for the World vs. World. For the Thief, the changes are again about its escapability in World vs. World. They are increasing initiative costs and cooldowns so that thieves can't escape that much in the World vs. World. I'm sure they are going to escape randomly again. I am so sure about that. But they are trying to lower the possibility of the players who don't know Thief that well. So other than that, they are changing how the Spectre works. So it's kind of like a Scourge without a shade. So you're going to give your boons and your buffs, shadow shot skills to players near you, not the one that you linked. So it will probably change how players use Spectre in PvE, I guess in PvE or World vs. World, or in maybe PvP as well. We'll see what these changes do to Spectre. And Necromancer is another class that has mostly World vs. World focused changes on itself. The changes are mainly to heal scourges, or well, you can say barrier scourges. They are lowering some capabilities for the scourges to give barriers. As I said before, they are lowering the barrier cap, so this will definitely affect them, and they are increasing some cooldowns for Scourge. But they are increasing boon removal. And well, you can see from this class mainly, they don't want boons to have a huge role in World vs. World anymore. And other than that, there aren't much of a change for Necromancer in PvE. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. And once again with Revenant, we are seeing a decrease in boon upkeep and boon share for your allies in World vs. World. They are also nerfing the Herald and some of the functions that Herald has in its traits, but mainly the Protective Solace, they are increasing its upkeep from 6 to 8, and I don't think you could
You'll be very
use the bubble for a long time in PvE anymore, like for the Bone Skinner fight or any other raid fight that you need bubble. And I don't know, it feels like these are kind of indirect nerfs for upcoming rear fights, but it's probably not related to this one.
I feel
So
good.
yeah, these are the changes for Revenant. They are buffing a few skills for the Revenant, but once again they are removing Alacrity that they give from orders from above, and we won't see too much Alacrity in World vs. World anymore because of that. Once again, the engineer changes are mainly focused on the barrier uptime and the Alacrity generation. They are completely removing Alacrity from engineer one again from World vs. World and lowering the barrier amount that they give in the World vs. World as well. Other than that, the changes are mainly focused on some quality of life changes for its spear and some nerfs to its PvP. And with that said, it's pretty much it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you do, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Have a nice day and see you again on my next video.